to be honest. But as I say, there's nothing we can do about it. We just have to keep trying, and hopefully it will sort itself out at some point. Okay. Let's have a look. LaBelle. Oh, they were supposed to meet Tuesday afternoon, but I had a last minute gig in Babylon, Long Island, so I couldn't go. Oh, I'm so sorry you didn't meet Adam. He's such a nice bloke. He's a really, really nice bloke. Never mind. Maybe next time, darling. Okay, maybe next time. Okay. Hello to DJ Ryan. Ryan James. Good morning. Hope there's at least one good thing to come out of yesterday. I get to see your show for once. You must, yes, as I say, Ryan, I've sent you a little private message. Hopefully you'll see that. Good morning to Adrian Richardson is there as well. Thank you, Roy Brownlow. Cheap internet. No, well, yes, cheap internet, Roy. And only choice internet, because we have no cables here. There's the telegraph pole up there. They've been doing some stuff there, Roy, but with no other choice. Or it could be the router. I mean, I could try streaming via the phone. I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'll use the phone hotspot and see if that makes any difference tomorrow. All right, and we'll see. But I'm going to ring. I'll keep ringing 3, I think. I'll have to keep ringing 3 until they resolve this problem. Alrighty. So, computer games. Anyone play computer games? There was a story on the BBC News about how much money they make, the business news in the morning, and how computer games have changed over the years. Now, I know a lot of people are on Xbox if you're a computer gamer. My nephew, my older nephew certainly, absolutely loves his Xbox. He's on the damn thing all the time. Morning to Stephen Price. Good morning, Stephen. It's not my sort of thing. I never really got into computer games. I played them a little bit, I suppose, when I was younger. And of course, it's all moved on, isn't it? You know, when the first few computer games came out, they were like the tennis, wasn't it? It was a tennis, and it was a console. Okay, and you had maybe a few games on it, but different types of games of tennis, and it was just like, you know, beep 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 like that. And I had one of those. I wasn't mad on it. I just played it now and again, but that was about it. And then we moved on to we got the Sinclair Spectrum, didn't we? And you could buy computer games from that. I remember Attic Attack, and it would come on a cassette. And you'd have your computer and your cassette player, and you put in the cassette, plug one into the other, and hopefully it would load. Not always the first time. And it would take 5-10 minutes for a damn computer to load. And you beep, 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 as the tape player was playing all this stuff going through. And you might have to do that 3 or 4 times before it would work, and then it would work. Attic Attack is the one I remember, where you'd go searching for various things in rooms in a house. And it was all very, you know, like little lines and things like that. Then we moved over to CDs, didn't we? Some of the computer games came on CDs, and we were up now to the sort of PlayStations and things like that. You could buy ones on CDs and cartridges as well. The Nintendo, that was on a cartridge, wasn't it? I had one of those, and I had Super Mario, I think, on that. But again, I didn't spend hours and hours playing on it. Just now and again, I might get the box. To be honest, it was more hassle getting the damn box out than anything else. Oh, I've got to plug that in there, plug that in there, plug that in there. Of course, we didn't have a high-definition television in those days. And then nowadays, of course, it's all downloads, and you don't. A lot of people don't own a physical product, do they? You just you're playing online or streaming, which would be no good if you had the internet that I've got up here in the caravan at the moment. But nevertheless, you'd do streaming, wouldn't you? Or they do streaming. And my nephew certainly sits there in his house, and he's got a little microphone on and an earphone on, and he's talking to his mates and various other people all over the world. And it's all very clever, really. How were you into computer games, or are you? I mean, we see these stories about people being addicted, totally addicted to computer games. And I kind of wonder why that happens. Because I wasn't. I don't think my nephew is. And certainly, I don't know anyone that was ever addicted to, like, games, old school board games like Monopoly or Cluedo or Snakes and Ladders or Ludo. things like that. People didn't get addicted to those, did they? Scrabble. I mean, do you know anyone that was ever addicted to a board game? So why do they get addicted, I wonder, to a computer game? The computer games I played in the past, Space Invaders, I wasn't very good at that at all. Asteroids, where they got the things out, and then things at the top there. There's one in the middle, and they come down. Woo! And you have to go blow it. And this thing moves along, blowing them up as they come down. There was that rock one that you blow the rock apart in little bits, and then you blow the little bits up, and then those little bits up. They were about the only two I ever played, I think. And then Pac-Man. I liked Pac-Man, but again, I wouldn't say I was ever addicted to it. I must go and play Pac-Man. Wasn't anything like that. So, I don't know really how people get addicted to games. Would you consider yourself addicted to games? Or what games do you play? Or what games did you play? Now, the game that my nephew, it might be me not knowing what he's playing really, but he seems to play the same game all the time, which is basically soldiers running around with guns, shooting each other in various situations. And great nephew Harry, he's got like a racing game, which I've seen on his Kindle type, I don't know what it is, he's got this handheld thing, and he plays computer games on that. One of them is like a car racing game. Again, I've played the car racing games, not really into those at all. They don't really do it for me. Maybe is it an age thing? But you see older people playing these computer games. I wonder if any of you sort of over the age of 60 and play computer games. Do you? So let's see what you're saying on that there. Michael's got business internet, a lot of money, but worth it. Yeah, but I haven't got a wire here, Michael. I keep telling you this, dear. It's 4G. I'm over the 4G network, which has been excellent. It's only in the last week and a half or so we've started to have problems with it. Ray says, I don't approve of computer games. It would appear the favourite ones are killing people or throwing people over balconies. Well, is that where the computer game came from? Because that little boy was thrown over the Tate Gallery. Wasn't it Tate Modern Gallery or something like that? Tate Modern? Little boy, was that from a computer game? Someone had seen it on a computer game and did it to that poor little boy. Is he all right now? I know he was in a serious condition, wasn't he? What a dreadful thing to do. Very good morning to John Aitken. He's done the housework. He's having a cup of tea and custard creams. Custard creams. Yes. Let's have a look. Are you sharing again? Thank you, Ellie. Donkey Kong, says Rachel. That's a good one. Donkey Kong, that great big thing used to be up there. I thought it was my sister at first, to be honest. That... I'm so cruel to her. She sits there and she starts screeching. My sister. I went out for a walk with her last night. As I say, Martin and my sister brought round great nephew Harry and great niece, and they bought me some chips. Oh, I was woken up yesterday. I was having a sleep, and all of a sudden, it was so quick. All of a sudden, the children come running into the bedroom because my sister's got the key to the caravan. They've opened the door. I never heard anything. Suddenly, there was the door where all the lights came on. Turn the bloody light out. And now, Chris, get out. Turn the light out. How dare you break into my bedroom? Not. Chris, are you up? No. All lights blazing and noise. Just as I'm... What? This is after my afternoon nap yesterday. Bloomin' Evie waking me up first thing in the morning. Well, she won't ever be sleeping in my caravan. I keep promising her that she can have a sleepover. No, not if she's going to wake me up like that. Absolutely no chance whatsoever. In fact, I might even have to get the locks changed on the caravan. I'm not having that again. You could have at least knocked first. For God's sake, gently woken me up with a little knock. Not screaming and shouting and lights flashing. That was annoying. I'm very annoyed by that. Donkey Kong, thank you. John plays Scrabble online. Oh, I didn't even know you could do that. My mum was a great fan of Scrabble, John. She was very, very good at it as well, my mum. Really good at Scrabble. Heidi, good morning, Heidi. Space Invaders for Heidi. There was a song, actually. Who was it by? Space. This is back in the 80s. There was some sort of. And this song just went like that. I can't remember what it was called now. It wasn't called the Space Invaders song. It was something. Was it E.T.? It was E.T. Phone Home. Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. E.T. Phone Home. There was a song, a game song out called Tetris. Da, 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 and they techno houseified it. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Tetris. That's a good tune, isn't it? Some of the music that goes with these computer games is amazing, I think. Absolutely amazing. Thank you. Michael's got an Xbox One. It's big business. People playing from all over the world. Yes, as I was saying, Michael, yeah, my nephew loves it. But he seems to play this shooting game all the time. And I'm not really into army and shooting games like that. Ellie used to like hide and seek. Gadgets and Games, 1975. Good morning to you. We've got a gamer watching today. Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is a good game. That sounds like a Call of Duty sounds like an army type shooting down game, is it? I suppose there's no difference to that really between that and shooting down spaceships, really, is there? John Aiken was addicted to Space Invaders in the 1980s. Morning to Ashley. Good morning, Ashley Yeo. Long time no see. Morning to you, Ashley. Roy Brownlow. Magic, same, Chris. You get gimmick trick, but tutorial videos online. No DVD. Magics. It's called Magics, is it? Okay, I don't know that one. Overwatch is my favourite game. You see, I don't know any of these. I don't know any of these at all. The last gaming machine I bought was a Wi-Fi? Oh, what was it now? It came with games. And it had like a detector that you put at the top of the screen. And you play things like tennis and cricket. And there was skiing. And what happened is I was at my sister's house one Christmas. This is some years ago now. And they had one of these. And we started playing it. I thought, oh, this is good. I'll buy one. So I spent about 300 quid. I bought the box and a load of games to go with it, including Monopoly. Well, I must have played it 3 times. I couldn't be bothered with it. Funny, innit? I think sometimes things like that, you need a crowd of people. A bit like trying to play football on your own, you know. And I'm in the living room playing this, and then there was a keep fit thing and a board that you trod up and down on. I thought, oh, I can't be bothered with all this. I put it away, never to be used again. And I think my mate, we sought out. I think it was a children's home or something like this, and we said, look, we've got this game. Do you want it? And then we gave it to them, the box and all the games and all that business. So that's what we did with that. Good morning to Paul, who's driving into Birmingham. I'm on the loudspeakers in the car. Well, open those car windows and join in the fun, everyone else who's listening around you. I must warn you, Mike, we've already been cut off once this morning, so fingers crossed the signal don't go down there. Mike says, I'm very tempted to switch from Virgin Broadband to 3. 3 signal was quite good down here in Portsmouth. You see, a couple of weeks ago, I would have said yes to you, but I've had so many problems. I basically keep getting cut off. You know, it's only for a few seconds, but if I stop sending the show to the server, you are cut off. End of. You know, it has to be a continuous stream. And I would say no. No, I think, well, I mean, you can switch broadband providers. Go and look around at broadband. Vodafone are doing a very good deal. Vodafone, but they'll have to come and put another line in. But if you sign up at the shop, at least this was the case when I nearly signed up with them a few months ago. If you sign up in the shop, they'll waive the installation fee, which is about 80 quid. All right. I would have a look around. If you're probably not happy paying what Virgin are charging. They're charging an absolute fortune now. Virgin Broadband. I don't know why they've got so expensive. And I think last year the prices went up twice. Wait, taking the piss. Taking the piss to putting up the prices twice in a year, mate. No. So I was all ready to go off. I'd signed up with Vodafone, actually. So have a look at Vodafone, Mike. Okay? You don't need massive speeds for what you do. 50 meg is enough. 50 meg. Okay, you'll find Vodafone £24 a month. Okay, Vodafone £24 a month if I remember rightly. I can't recommend you switch to 3-4G because it's not working here properly at the moment. I keep getting cut off. All right. So, I mean, bear in mind, I've had it a couple of months now, and it's been very good. It's only in the last week and a half I've started getting cut off, and I'll ring them again in a bit and to tell them that we were cut off again earlier. Mario Brothers, Ellie, of course. The Wii, that was it, Rachel, Wii. It was a Wii I had. That was it. Was it a Nintendo Wii or something like that? I think it was. John's got a Wii. We play bowling and golf. Yeah, there's a lot of different games there, isn't there? Ah, thank you, Ellie. Atari. Do you remember the Atari? That was another one. Now, what was the game I had with Atari? That was a black box, wasn't it? And you used to plug the black cartridge in the top. Various different games. And that worked quite well, didn't it? Didn't you? Robert Dexter, there was a non-alcoholic beer at Pride. I had to have an expensive lemonade, and I've never played a computer game in my life. Is that right, Robert? Never? Wow, I mean, I don't play them now. In the past, as I say, I've played various different ones, but no sort of the shooting army type ones, car driving, that sort of thing. I gather there's a train one. Now, I was a big fan of electric trains. My favourite ever Christmas present was an electric train set. Oh, it was fabulous, this thing. Used to go around the tracks and I'd be chained in a speed with my Hornby controller. And I love that. I gather there's a computer game that is a train. And literally, the same as one that you would have physically, you can make a layout and drive your trains around tracks. Presumably there's some sort of skill involved so that you don't crash them head on into each other. And that sort of thing, which is quite good. Isn't it? Very, very good indeed. All right, so that's the computer games. And it says here in the Daily Mirror this morning, the Xbox Live, which is what my nephew's got, I think, is suffering, or is it PlayStation? I don't know what he's got. He's got some sort of box anyway. But Xbox Live is suffering its second major outage in 24 hours, with gamers unable to log into their accounts, purchase games, or access previous purchased content. You see, that's the thing, isn't it? You know, when you haven't got that physical CD, if the net goes down, that's it. You can't play. You can't play. Presumably, I mean, the internet, what is it, 20 years old now, the internet? Something like that? Why isn't it like electricity yet? Now, how many times do you have a power cut? My guess is not very often. Yeah? And as time has gone on, with less and less, I don't think I've had a power cut now for, my God, years. Why isn't the internet like that? Now and again, we start having these problems, don't we? And sometimes they can be fixed quickly. Sometimes it takes ages, like, for example, this problem here that we've got. Now, my guess is the problem I've got is not anything to do with me and the mast. It's the internet somewhere up, you know, there. It might be the mast itself, but not between me and the mast. Because it's been working perfectly all right. Nothing's changed, you know? Anyway, back to this. It says the online gaming service has been having issues since 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon, according to the website Down Detector. What's that, Down Detector? Which monitors online outages. Oh, I've never heard of that. I like the sound of that. Down Detector. Down Detector. And it says we are aware members may be having problems finding previously purchased content. Can you imagine buying something and then not being able to find it again? How annoying would that be? Heidi says Pac-Man is fierce. It is fierce. Like that, oh, poor old Heidi. She got a lift in her building and that keeps going out of order as well, does it? Oh, my heart goes out to you. All those stairs, dear. All those stairs. Well, yesterday... Oh, yes, let me tell you. Okay, so we're going to have something to give out. As you know, Shania won the first prize. Rachel's got a prize as well, because she got a load in before we cancelled that competition. I've thought of another way to do it. Now, I can't do this today. I've got to go out and buy something first. We are going to have... Are you ready for this? And this can include everyone, whether we're watching on Facebook or YouTube or Periscope. As long as you can get a message into me, you'll be able to do this. We are going to have a weekly raffle. We're going to have a weekly raffle. Every time you turn up and ask for a number, okay, we'll do a little section in the show, which is the point of, because we can't do it the whole show. Otherwise, the thing will just take over and there'll be no stories to tell or news items to do or messages. You know, every day for a little period of time, a couple of minutes maybe, I'll ask you if you want to play the competition and I will give you a raffle number. Okay? I've got to set it out. I can't do it here because I've got no printer or anything to print stuff off or anything. I don't think I can do it on the screen because I've got to carry around the bits of paper with me. But yes, we'll have a piece of paper with numbers, sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And next to number 1 might be Heidi Oliver. So you're number 1 today, Heidi. Now, you might turn up on Tuesday as well. So I'll also give you number 13. You might turn up on Wednesday. So you'll have number 25. Okay? So by Friday, you could have 5 numbers, but no more than 5. You know, you can't keep asking on the same day, can I have another number? Number 1, no. And number 2, even if you try and get around it, I'll have it written down in front of me there. All right? How does that sound? How does that? That sounds better. We can then include everyone. I like everyone to be included. You know, everyone, we need inclusion of, we don't need loads of letters to include everyone. LGBTQISSTTVWX. We don't need that. We just need one inclusion, and that's it. We don't. No one needs a letter. Oh, it does get on my nerves. Do you know? I've got to tell you, as you know, gay man here. I hate the term LGBTQI. I hate it. Absolutely hate it. I feel it separates people. Don't you? Rather than being included in one big gay world, you're separating people, and everyone wants their own little letter or their own colour. What the hell's all that about? No, we're all included, and with the raffle, I can include everyone. So I'm really pleased that I managed to think about that one, and we'll start that as soon. I'll have to get some little tickets as well. I'll have to get some tickets. I'll get a bit of tickets. I can get them from Ryman's on Saturday, where I'm going to pick up the prizes. Yes, at Ryman. So I'll get some of those on Saturday, and we'll start that either Saturday or Sunday. Okay. So each time you pop up, I'll give you a raffle ticket. I'll put your name on the back of the raffle. I'll put it in a little bowl, and then once a week on a probably. What day will we do that? I'll probably pick the tickets on a Friday. I think it'll be a Friday. I'll work out what day we'll pick the tickets. So there we are. That's it. Right, back to your messages there. John says, my nephew is addicted to their PlayStation. Yeah, they do love it, don't they? They do love a PlayStation. Heidi even hates the word gay. Well, I'm not too bad with the word gay. I don't like the word queer. I think that just sounds horrible. Horrible. And you know, queer spaces. It sounds awful. You see, I don't like all this splitting up. I like everyone to go to the same pub and that's it. Thank you very much. Oh, Heidi wrote a message there. I've got a spooky story for you. I've just had a tarot card reading and I've been told that a man is going to come into my life. And the really spooky part, really spooky part is that I'm currently chatting with someone at the moment. And the even spookier part is that I was told that this man will be a Leo and the guy I'm chatting with is a Leo. Very spooky, Heidi. It's about time you turned up at my karaoke again, dear. Come and sing a song, dear. Hey, there's another one. Mike hates the word queer. I think it's very left-wing, that word, isn't it? Queer, don't you think? I don't like it. I really... Oh, you just sent me a message. I've just read that, all right. So there we are. Okie doke. Hello to Tamil. Tamil Roy, Chris, my friend from India. YNWA. What's YNWA? I don't know what that is. YNWA. Hello to Mark Cording, who's on his way to Paynton. Oh, that's a nice old place. Down, is that called Paynton, Cornwall? Cornwall or Devon? One of those two, right down the end there, isn't it? Now, you see what I was saying about the internet earlier on. Now, we've been chatting now for 25 minutes and it's not gone off. Do you see what I mean? It's very, very intermittent. And often, I found this when I was working for British Telecom as an engineer. Intermittent problems are extremely difficult to resolve sometimes because they just don't happen. When you want them to happen, they won't happen. I could now sit here probably and talk for 2 hours and nothing happens. Nothing happens, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? Alrighty, so that's what we're going to do with the raffle. I'm pleased to tell you, my air conditioning is now all in. I've just had air conditioning come heating installed here in the caravan. The man turned up yesterday afternoon about 12:30, bang on time. Such a nice man. He's a really, really nice bloke. He was on his own, installed it all in within about a day and a half it took altogether. And ever so neat. He's done it really well. There's no mess. Everything is very neat. Everything is working. And as I say, he got here about 12:30. I was just doing dinner. I said, do you want to fancy a couple of burgers? He said, well, if you're cooking. And I could tell he was hungry. So I put a couple of burgers on. I said, they're vegetarian burgers. Is that all right? He said, well, what's the difference? I said, none. You probably won't notice any difference. Maybe a slightly different texture because I had Quorn burgers they were. So I had some bread rolls in there. And I made him a couple of burgers with a load of cheese on the top and that. And then he continued with his work. And he finished around about 4:15. And it's all done. And he put the cold air on. I've got one in the bedroom and one in the living room. And it wasn't over hot yesterday, but nevertheless he put the one in the living room. And I sat in there and you could immediately feel the difference. What a difference that's made to in here. I'll try and do a little video of the work that is done. I'm very, very pleased with it. Funnily enough, while he was sitting in here, he was setting something else up. The most difficult thing it seemed to set up was the bloody remote control. Aren't they complicated? Some of these remote controls for things like that, they're really complicated. Anyway, so it's so that I can now, from my mobile phone, I can now turn on my air conditioning in the living room wherever I am in the world. Now you're thinking to yourself, why would you want to turn your air conditioning if you're over in Australia? Well, you wouldn't, would you? You know. But when I'm coming up here, like, you know, when I come up here on a cold day, I can also turn the heating on. Not so much if it's too hot. I'm not that bothered about coming in and not being able to immediately feel cold. But the other way around, it's a bit different. You know, if it's the middle of bloody winter, I need to be able to put the heating on before I get here. So I can now do that. So half an hour before I get in there, I just pull over the car, fire up the app. I'll show you the app. Oh, if you can see it. Sometimes the screen is a little bit too bright for the thing. Where's the app now? The app was difficult to... it wasn't the app that was difficult to set up. It was the remote control thing that talks to the air conditioning. That the phone... See, the phone talks to the internet talks to that, and that talks to that. And that was difficult to set. He had to do it. I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. In fact, he gave me the instruction book. He said, well, that's the thing. I said, well, you'll have to do it. I won't be able to do that. Here it is. So now, can you see? Yes, you can see that. Okay, can you see that living room air conditioning, right? So we'll just touch that there. Right. What's that say there? That's there's the is that right there? Ambient temperature there. I think that is. So it tells you it's 22.5 degrees in the living room at the moment. You can see that. I can tell if I right. Watch that. What? Okay, I've now turned it on. I've now turned on the air conditioning in the living room. How clever is that? Isn't that fantastic? It's amazing. I'm amazed by that. And you can change, you know, cold, hot, and all that. And the fan speed there. And the fan things. The extremes protection. I don't know what that is. Extremes protection. And that's it. Isn't that great? The thing is, I can't see. I want to go. Do you mind if I go? I want to see it's on. 1 minute. Hang on. How long's this wire? Hang on a minute. Let me see if that's on. Stay there. Yes, it's on. I love it. 1 minute. You can't see that. I should have some sort of mobile camera. Why haven't I got a mobile camera? There must be a way of linking the camera. Let me just turn it off. Just turn it off. Turn it off. Why can't we use our mobile phone cameras as sort of, you know, if I wanted to show you something, right, let's just go to that. Maybe there's a way of doing it. I'll have to look on the system to see if I can do that. So it's all done. And as I say, such a nice man. We were sitting in it and suddenly it went off. And he looked at me and I looked at him. And he said, I know what that is. That's the fuse box. So he's come out here. He said, I thought it was a 6-amp fuse you had in there, so I haven't changed it. He'd come out. Oh, it's a, I think he said, oh, it's a 5. Can you get a 5 amp fuse or a 4 or something like that? Anyway, so then he changed the fuse. This is like in the main box. You know, here. It's actually here. In here is my fuse box, and he had to change something in there so it would take the motor going on and off. I'm not an electrician, so I don't know. But as I say, such a nice job, and I've just got his final invoice this morning, which I shall pay as soon as I finish the phone. I don't hang around with bills and things like that. I can't stand it. Funnily enough, I went to see Sylvie, the site owner, yesterday about something. What was that now? I had to collect it was a parcel. The air conditioning man had sent you remember, I told you this yesterday. He'd sent a parcel there, and it was there, certainly enough. I went and saw Sylvie. She's like the site owner, Sylvie and Alan. Lovely couple. And I said, did you get a parcel yesterday? She said, is it air conditioning thing? I said, yes. She said, oh. She said, I must have gone around every caravan last night when she was on the mail run. She's got a little basket on wheels, and she goes and delivers all the letters every day. Oh, you would love Sylvie if you ever met her. She's fantastic. And Alan as well. They're actually a quiet, well, I found them quiet. They're a very quiet couple when they own the site. And they're very reasonable. They're not greedy with fees or gas bottle charges or anything like that. They're a lovely, lovely couple. We call them our benefactors. They're our benefactors. So she gave me the box, and I gave it to the man there. And at the same time, I received my electricity bill. So from the 29th of, from the something of April, early April, to the 27th of July, it's about 84 quid. That's all right, isn't it? 84 quid. Is that 3 months? It's nearly 4 months, isn't it? It's nearly 4 months. So I'm happy with that. £84. I'm not complaining about electric bill like that. Rachel said technology is great. We'd be lost without it. Yes, we would. Mike, is it expensive having air conditioning installed? Depends what you're having, Mike. You'd probably get away with a little B&Q thing if you just wanted to do your bedroom or something like that, or you can go the whole hog. It depends what you want. You know, you could pick up a second-hand, perfectly good portable air conditioner off eBay, probably for about 200 quid. Or you could air condition the whole house, every single room, I don't know, for about 6,000, and anything in between. Okay, I've got 2 units put in here. There isn't one in this room because I'm not in here long enough. I'm okay with a fan just next to me there. But I think if you have if you want the split system, so you've got the very quiet unit in the house. Now, when I say you get a portable one from B&Q, they're noisy, okay? They're noisy for you to notice them, but you get used to them. I had one in the bedroom. I've got the same one in my bedroom at the house. I haven't got the proper stuff in there. Or I have in the studio, but not in the bedroom. I've got one in the bedroom, and it is noisy. It's like like that all the time. But I don't find it a noise that's annoying. It's like a fan going round and a hum, okay? With the split system, which is what I've got in here, you get a unit in the house, which is like up high. You've seen them in offices, haven't you? And you have a fan outside, okay? And the two are connected with pipes and things like that. And they're very quiet. You probably get one of those installed for about £1,500, £1,800, something like that. But they're very quiet, you see. Very, very quiet indeed. You can do it DIY for about 600 quid, I think. You could buy the units and it says DIY. But the thing is, with those air conditioning pipes, right, they need to get all the air out. Because that is a real enemy of air conditioning, moisture in the pipes. Now, if you're doing it DIY, I don't see how you can do that. Because these air conditioning people, they've got this gadget that connects to the pipes, and I think it fills it with nitrogen or something like that, which then makes the water in the pipes boil. Does this sound right to you? And then this thing sucks it all out, sucks all the steam out. That's how they get rid of the moisture. And then once a year, you're supposed to have these things serviced. A bloke comes round, attaches the pipes back to it, does it all again in case any moisture has got in somehow, which it shouldn't do because it's sealed, and like that. But I think summers are going to get hotter and hotter, Mike, so I would seriously think about it, all right? It's really good. Ellie says, can I win a handyman instead? No, I'm having him first, thank you, Ellie. We'll have someone about 35, thank you, Ellie. Don't want any old people like ourselves. Someone about 30, 35 like that. Do you like tattoos, Ellie? Would that do you, darling? Some muscles to hold on to? Can I win a handyman? Hello to Kim. Good evening, Kim. Oh, and Tracy's there as well. There's my niece watching in Cyprus this morning. Morning, Tracy. Ellie reckons it's reasonable. I think it's reasonable. I think it's reasonable, really. I mean, when you saw the work, I like to see value for money. I don't feel ripped off at all. In fact, he gave me a quote on the bath. I have got a really old bathroom here. The bath is cracked around the side, and it's not even a bath, it's a mini bath. Why anyone would want to install a mini bath, I do not understand. I mean, to get in the bath I've got here, you'd have to be in the fetal position. You'd be like this in the bath. What is the point of having one of those installed? Anyway, it's really old, and they gave me a quote for the bathroom. And it was very, very reasonable. And I said, you seem to price your things perfectly. I don't like to feel ripped off. I've told the story so many times before. When you have a small scratch on the car and you take it into the main dealer and they want like £800 because we've got to take the panel off and we have to rub it all down and respray it. No, you bleeding don't, because my nephew does it. My nephew, my nephew, he fixed my car. Right, he's got work to do. I keep scratching the car, don't I? I don't know how I managed to. It doesn't bother me actually. A couple of bits and pieces banged on the car, a little dent here or a scratch there. It doesn't really bother me. It really bothers my mate. He gets the slightest scratch. That's it. It's in the garage. Go have it all resprayed again. Why? No, my nephew. And I took my it was the car I've got before the one I've got now. I took it in. It had a bit of a dent in it. I can't even remember how it happened. Anyway, so he's sitting there. And he said, well, I'll start work on it now, right? So it's got this bit of a dent. He then goes and gets a bloody great big hammer and starts banging it. I'm like, what are you doing? He said it's got to look worse before it looks better. And he banged it. He's banging on my door with his metal hammer. Like the round bit. I don't know what that's called on the hammer. Anyway, so I left it. I couldn't watch anymore. I had to leave. And I left him to it, and I went swimming. I'd come back, and a couple of days later it was returned to me, all washed and polished. You'd not know there had ever been a dent there. Would he charge me for that? Well, he probably wouldn't charge me anything, but I insisted on charging, so I think I paid him about 150 quid, something like that, which I gave him, and that's it. But generally, I wouldn't really bother. But because I kind of leased the car, when I take it back, I could hand it back covered in scratches, right? But I would lose value on that. They would penalise me for that. So it will be returned, hopefully, in the same state that I bought it. Slight wear on it, John wouldn't attempt to do anything with electrics. Just get a professional in. Yeah, I agree, John. I agree. I mean, I haven't really had a complete DIY disaster, but I know if I do things, sometimes they're not very good. I would never well, you're not allowed to anyway. I would never dream of touching anything to do with gas. Oh, that scares me, gas. I really wouldn't. But yeah, get a professional. Don't try and do things yourselves if you can't do them. Unless you're a handyman. My brother-in-law's a handyman. He can do practically anything at all. He's always... In fact, it was in here last night because we had to move the blind. Because unfortunately, the only place for the air conditioning in the air conditioning cum heating unit to go was near a window. We had to move a blind. So the man took... And he forgot to put it back up. So Martin came round and my sister's... he put it up for me last night, kindly. But he can do anything. He fixes cars, electrical work... I'm sure he put a boiler in somewhere once, years ago, and stuff like that. And he will watch something on the internet, right, that he doesn't know how to do, and then do it. Amazing. Amazing. Really amazing. I wish I could do that. But it's the whole thing, we're all good at something. I've yet to find anything that I'm good at, to be honest. But I hope I hope that one day I can find that. Ellie says she's only 45. Is that right, darling? With plenty to grab. Oh, I have as well, Ellie. Are you all right with that? See, I'm not. I don't care what people look like. Now, you often, I just want to say this, you often hear me go on about celebrities, okay? Great big fat celebrities. But I would never do that to a normal person. I feel like if a celebrity's up there, you know, that's what you're there for. Especially if you've got no talent. Now, no names mentioned here. Please don't type the name of the person you think I'm talking about. But great big fat celebrities with absolutely no talent whatsoever. I'll talk about those happily. But I would never really refer to someone's weight or something like that. Because I think it's a bit upsetting. You know, only if I'm having a joke and I need to know in my head that you would accept the joke before I said something. So I would never do that. But if it's celebrities, then that's fair game, dear. You know, if you want to parade your great big fat untalented body around on the telly, then you've got to expect that. You know, I get crap here sometimes. I get crap here. People who eventually start taking the piss, I'll just block them. Bye-bye. Get rid of them, dear. Do you get rubber ducks? Rubber ducks. What, for the bath? Funnily enough, I saw. Where was I the other day? I think it was B&M. Do you know B&M? I think they had a bag of rubber ducks. Oh, they were cute, little yellow things. We like rubber ducks. Where my mate's other half, he is a manager in the Runnymede Hotel. Oh, it's Posh. Posh Hotel there. I went afternoon tea there once with my mate. Oh, it's lovely. So he's like one of the managers there, and their kind of slow. What would you call it? Their thing. Oh, what would you call it? Their ident. Their logo. Their kind of logo is little rubber ducks, and they sell them in the hotel. They're like 15 quid for a plastic duck. Same one as you get in Argos for about 50 pence. But they sell them. And these idiots, they go in the hotel, you know, posh people, they go in the hotel, oh, let's buy a duck. Yeah, £15, please. Put them in a little bag, give it to them. They don't know they can get them from Argos for like 50 pence. There's a mug born every minute, there really is. Let's just scroll down here. John's terrified of gas ovens. We've got an electric one. I wouldn't say I'm terrified of gas equipment, but to do anything to them, yes, I'd be afraid of that. You know, I've seen what happens when you turn on the gas. I've got like a gas cooker here. So you turn on the gas and you haven't clicked it because you haven't turned the power on for the clicker. And you hold the gas and then you go, oh, whoa, like that. Well, that's only a small amount of gas. And it was a tiny, tiny spark that set it off. And that's what frightens me with gas as well. Tracy says, Tracy's my niece. That's my niece. Do say hello to my niece, Tracy. She's in Cyprus, bored to tears at the moment. Are you bored, darling? She's not usually on here. You must be really bored today. And over there, it's like, I think the other night it was 42 degrees at night or something like that. So hot. So hot. You're good at talking. Do you think so, Trace? I hardly say a word usually. I'm a very quiet person, as you know, Trace. Heidi can change a plug and a plug socket. Well done. Yeah, I can do that. I can change a bulb and a plug, John says. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Heidi says I'm good at talking a lot of rubbish. Well, you know that. Good morning to Roy the boy. Morning, Roy the boy. Roy the boy does chat shows like this. And he does this thing on Sundays where there's 4 people on the screen at the same time, which is very clever. And they're all kind of talking about various things. Usually men, like a what would you call it? Like a boys' channel. Like a boys' channel. They're talking about cars and things like that. You know, so Roy the boy's got a channel. Give him a little look there. Ellie's got rubber ducks too, have you really? Oh, how lovely. Little rubber ducks floating around in your bath. Well, if I put one duck in the bathroom here, you wouldn't get anything else in it. You literally, if you want to go in that bath, you've got to be in the fetal position to get in. Do you run away from your own gas? No, Rachel, I love the smell. I love it. I got Tracy a box of rubber ducks for her 30th birthday. Still not quite sure. Did I? I can't even remember, Trace. Was it me? Are you sure that was me? Where are you working today, then? Where are you working today? Ellie wants to know if Roy is free. All right. Okay. Well, it's time is moving on, so we'll have to disappear. I had a load of news stories there today, which we haven't had time to do, but never mind, gang. We'll do them another day or something like that. Now, you see what I say about that internet. We got cut off after 10 minutes, and now we've gone 45, and it's been perfectly all right. So you just never know. You just never know when it's going to be cut off. But it's one of those things. I don't think it's too bad. It's probably me worrying about it more than you do, isn't it? Eh? When we get cut off, it's fairly simple to kind of refresh your page. Give it 20 seconds or so, something like that. Refresh your page and it appears again in another window. But it's a pain when I try and put up the recordings because it's now split into two halves, you see, which is a bit of a pain. Never mind, anyway. Okay, happy birthday on this Thursday, the, what are we now today? Thursday the 8th of August 2019 to Gary Rees-Ponto, other half of Mike Rees-Ponto. It's his birthday as well today, is it, Gary? Happy birthday to you, Gary. Oh, Heidi, no, I must get moving now, darling. I'd love to tell you some stories, but we're out of time today. Nick Driver today is 40 years old. Good morning, Nick. Happy birthday to you. Louise Harvey. Lovely picture there, Louise. Happy birthday to you. And Katie Pannell, who is one of my cousin's girls. She recently, not actually recently, I think it's probably about 1 year old. She's got a little boy. I think it's a little boy. And it's her birthday as well today. So happy birthday, Katie, and everyone else this morning. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, everyone. Roy says you should have a guest on now and then. I have had guests on in the past. Not as like a regular thing. The way I come to you is on OBS, so I can't have like a video guest on there. But quite frankly, sometimes it doesn't always work very well. Okay, you've got to have a guest who's kind of got the right chemistry with you. There is a bloke who I would dearly, dearly love and to come here into Lincolnshire television studio complex and be a guest. He has been on the television. Very, very good friend of mine who I met for the first time last year, and we just instantly hit it off. You've probably seen him on the telly or listened to him on the radio. Tom Edwards, who doesn't live too far from here, and I desperately love to have him here. But what bothers me is that if we're in here and the net goes down, so that's why I haven't asked him. I mean, it would bother me. Probably doesn't bother you at all, does it? You know, the fact that you just refresh the page and it comes back a minute later. But it bothers me. You know, I would want everything working. Also, it is quite a large room. But, you know, I mean, there is room for two. Look, I mean, if I move over, we've got room for someone else sitting there. You know? I've only got a very small sound mixer here, which, from the looks of it, can only take one microphone. But it wouldn't be too much trouble to get a microphone, a mixer would possibly take a couple of microphones, and either get another microphone, or my brother-in-law, he's got a couple of these at home. He's got loads of stuff. My brother-in-law keeps buying the latest cameras and things like that, which is great. So yes, to have a guest, and that is the one person I'd really, really like to come in here. You know, because he would probably compare it. He was one of the announcers on Thames Television, and also Central, ATV, HTV. I think he did Anglia as well. He was, you know, the bloke that come in between the programmes. And for him to come in here, you know, probably to this tiny little room and see what he says. Oh, you wouldn't believe the lights in front of me here, which again, two lights here given kindly to me, my brother-in-law, which he no longer uses, and they're all battery operated. So, you know, after a few days, I have to take them down and recharge them then and put them back again, which actually I will do today, you know, because I've been going now for 3 days. Otherwise, it goes out, you know. So, yes, I would like to do that. I would like to do that there. Oh, Mark's going past Reading, are you? Hello, Mark. He's off Reading. That's near me. You must have gone through Bracknell as well by now. Mike Reese's brother today is 48. So, as I say, it's Gary, isn't it? Happy birthday to Gary today. You'll have to play him this little bit there. All right. Hello to Shania. You're very late, Shania, dear. We've been going for an hour nearly, in 2 parts today, in 2 parts, all right? All right? I know who that is. Didn't he mention you in a magazine article? Oh, I can't remember now. Who was that, Tracy? Who's mentioned in a magazine article? I have been in a couple of magazines. I'm in a book, you know. I kid you not, I've been written about in a book. Yes, I didn't tell you that, did I, Tracy? It was someone who used to come into the Black Cap. And he wrote a book and mentioned me as the DJ, which was quite nice. All right, let's have a look. Right, boom, boom, boom. Right, I think we're done there. There we are. Eddie says, just think Rachel, just us 3, Chris, Rachel and me. All right. Okay, boys and girls, that's it for the show today. Thanks ever so much. I'm sorry we got cut off at the beginning. I think we're just going to have to put up with that for a while until they sort it out. You see, if I ring them now and I say, well, I got cut off this morning, and they say, is it all right now? And the answer is yes. I think I get a feeling that's where it stops, you see. They don't look into it any further. But one of those things. It's one of those things. Okay, so we did mention this at the beginning of the show, but tonight, Thursday night, if you're up in the northeast of the country, anywhere around sort of Skegness, Mablethorpe, up on that east coast, I'm in Cleethorpes tonight hosting karaoke at Silhouettes Bar. All right? That's at 38 Alexander Road in Cleethorpes. It's a lovely night. It's not a massive bar, but it's a really friendly crowd. We've got all sorts of people in there, boys and girls, all shapes and sizes, all the colours of the rainbow. We don't care who you are, as long as you're nice. As long as you're nice and you've got an open mind and you don't mind what other people are, then come. Karaoke tonight at Silhouette Bar every Thursday in Cleethorpes from 9 o'clock. Thanks ever so much for joining us on the show today, boys and girls. I'll see you again, hopefully at some time tomorrow morning. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye now.